and we knew this eventually could catch up. Uh, it's just the timing of everything, the hurricane, also, them just not having a good game, and Portland also playing the sport. It's just meant to happen. Now,
We forgot that other people
I
played.
rather I rather this. Yeah, look, there's so many good streaks that have ended. We're talking about wrestling, the Undertaker streak. Against Brock Lesnar. Everybody was like surprised that this streak ended. Orlando Pride's historic streak came to an end, and it is part um of the sport.
I mean,
Not
we were spoiled. We were spoiled rotten, Luis, weren't we?
Yeah, I mean, we were spoiled, but I think that this is a historic season, and I think that I rather these mistakes take care of them at home here, that happening already. Already the Pride clinching, NWSL, the Supporter Shield, than this probably happening in the playoffs. So now I think with this loss, they can just kind of go, and they have two more finals to play in regular season. I'm sure they're not going to want to lose any of those. So I trust and believe, you're going to see, I feel, a different Orlando Pride. I think the Orlando Pride, that's going to go for everything. So, and again, you're not going to throw away, and I've read a lot of the stuff that's been said, and it's really sad, I'll be honest with you. It's okay, you can throw away this historic season for one game.
Well, yeah, I think there was definitely some overreactions. I think,
You just
I
can't.
some of the people that
It is
are
historic.
very upset, I think, have to take a little bit of perspective and be like, this is the first loss of the season. There's, I think we have to really think about how well Seb has done and how well the team has done and how well we've done when we've rotated before, Luis. Like, we've done this before and rotated and not lost, and this just happened to be the time when it did happen. And also, I think people you forget, it's quite insulting to go out there and say, "Oh, we shouldn't have played we shouldn't have played our game
No,
changers," as Haley would like to call them, or we shouldn't have played these players. Like, those players got you a shield. Those players played all year when other players weren't here.
wholeheartedly
They are
agree.
a massive part of this team. They've said all year it is a group dynamic. It is a team dynamic. They're all playing for each other. So I think people just have to remember that, like, these are individuals, they are people, and they will be impacted by this, of course. And so I think to go that negative after one loss, like literally one loss in the season, was a bit of an overreaction from some people. And they might say, "Hey, you're gatekeeping," or "I'm allowed to my opinion," whatever. That's fine. But I think if there's ever a time to say this is an overreaction, it's when people are upset after we lose one game.
Look, this is the beginning of something really, truly not only positive for the community, but life changing for a lot of players in the squad. And they all have internet, and they all are in social media. And obviously, this season has been historic on all levels for all sports in Central Florida. Nothing is going to come close to what these women have achieved. And when I say these women, is every single person in this team, including communications, including Miss K, including everybody, Haley, every single one. I think that what has been accomplished, I think not a lot of teams will be able to replicate this. Now, for for one game, you're not gonna bring, and I know I'm gonna probably get clever by this, but you don't want to bring the old toxicity from back in the day into this newfound pride. You just don't want to do that. I just think it doesn't go with the core values of this new pride. And I think moving forward, I believe that the best thing that that they need to do is just to support this squad, and keep supporting them, because this is the toughest league in soccer, in my opinion, the NWSL, because you have to again reinvent the wheel, and I mentioned it for the boys earlier. But in this scenario, they had to reinvent the wheel because they have to play the same exact teams twice in the regular season. So it for coaches, for players, for the people behind the scenes, the medics, all of that, it is, you're gonna be facing the same team twice, dude. It doesn't happen often.
Well, and like you said, there's a whole
It's mental
of
training, dude. It's just mentally training.
things here, like like we talked about rotating squad. There's nothing wrong with that, by
There's
the
nothing
way.
wrong.
That's
They're all
perfectly
one
fine.
unit.
And in fact, I would encourage that when you
Of
saw
course.
Portland's horrible field, like that turf is no wonder they have so
God.
many injuries. That turf is, asking for injuries. So I wouldn't even, if I was Seb, I wouldn't even put Marta and Banda on for this game because yes, the unbeaten streak is cool. Yes, it's nice, but would you rather have them for the playoffs, rested, not having potentially injured, going all out like 90 minutes on a turf field for just to try and save an unbeaten streak? I think that's the perspective of what we're saying. And also, like the ref, again, it's not calling the fouls, like they're getting fouled. So there's that risk. All this stuff. How far is it from Portland to Orlando? Like you can say these are excuses, but they're also reasons. It's like that's literally the longest away trip we have to do. They had to leave on a Monday, like their whole family and their lives are here while there's a hurricane coming. Like, how do you deal with the stress of not being Orlando, but your friends and family and your stuff and everything is in Orlando while there's a hurricane coming? All of these things. Like, it's not, I think just to be like, oh, we lost because we rotated players is an oversimplification. And I think that's inaccurate and also slightly offensive, like we said, to some of the players that Seb put faith in. And I would have said, yeah, like they can get it done. And it just wasn't the day for them. But I also think that could have been the case if we started other players. The whole team looked off, like even our regular starters, right, Luis? That we were not connecting our passes well. We were not doing all the things defensively as well as we usually do. And I think that was probably partly due to a lot of the factors that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
And also the come down from the shield highs. Like you gotta remember, like it's all well and good being like, yeah, go back to work, but that was such an amazing moment, and they built so much towards that moment that there's always going to be like the game after you win the cup that you're just going to get beat. Like there's always
Yeah.
going to
I
be that
mean,
that fallback. Like it happens.
and I know that, and I understand. Like, and I know that I'm gonna make some parallels here, and I want your opinion on it too. Um, the more we clubber the team for one loss, I'm talking about major streaks in sports. I consider this one of the major streaks in sports. And they're coming to an end. And there's definitely part of the sport is the bragging. And I did mention to you that's probably what's going to happen. The team that does beat the Pride is going to
Oh
do
my god! nwsl bragged about it all weekend.
right, right. They won their championship just by beating the Pride. So,
You think they won a
so
championship? Yeah,
now you have to understand this is a team that hasn't won since, I believe, July.
yeah. I mean, it
July
was
5th. July
yeah.
5th. They didn't win since July 5th, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Orlando had a bad day in the office, but then you see the Thorns there saying unbeaten records are made to be broken. Thanks for coming, Orlando, and then they put an L on it.
This is bold. This is a bold.
Now,
That's a lot coming from a team that lost like
right, and
to
then
was it Utah a couple weeks ago.
Marta, which she's the goat. I mean, Marta is I mean, I think for women's sports, I think she's the greatest player
I mean,
ever.
they seem to think that Christy Sinclair is the goat up there.
Yeah.
They got it twisted.
And so Marta just says, "Hey, best of luck fighting for a place in the playoffs." Right?
Well played, Martha.
And then Marta gets saying, "Oh my god, how dare her saying that?" I was like, "Well,
Nah, she cooked them.
look, you know, I know this sounds very it is kind of childish what they did, but it's part of the sport, and I
Yeah,
think
I mean,
Marta.
if they're gonna be bravado, we get, it's banter.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's like no hate. I don't think the NWSL has that kind of real, horribleness going around. I feel like it's all in good fun, right, Luis?
Yeah, I think what Seb said was important too. You don't want the players to feel this loss again, and to feel the way they felt after winning the Shield for with a loss. And also, again, that could be accentuated or magnified for that discomfort to be felt by the players when there's a lot of negativity around them. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
so I
I think
think.
it's great motivator, like you said, Luis.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna come. I think they're gonna come fighting hard, and I think they're gonna win the next two games, and then they're gonna go into the playoffs swinging. And to me, they're still one of the scariest team in the NWSL right now because
Oh
you have
yeah.
to really be on your A game to beat the Pride. I mean, you have to play the best soccer of your whole entire season. You
I
know,
mean, when you review it back as well, like the stats, it wasn't like they blew us away. Like
right?
we had more possession of the ball. Like their shots was, they had a few more shots than us, not that many. They had one big chance to our zero big chances, according to FootMob. Like it wasn't like, oh wow, like they killed us. They had a set piece goal that was a good header back across, and she got the one time finish. I forget who it was who got that. The striker who's on a tear. Oh, Weaver got an early, and then we just kind of struggled to ever really get into this game. We had some moments, Luis, but we weren't our usual self, creating like a lot of really quality chances. And then sometimes we get those chances and we wouldn't take them very well, or we just have that lack of quality in the final third. And then Sinclair gets that great finish by her on the second goal in the 55th, and we bring on our starters and try and chase the game, but it's probably a little bit too late at that point. But it wasn't like they're making out like, wow, they played the most incredible game ever. It wasn't that incredible. It was just it was more the Orlando Pride, actually, I think, had an off day at the office. Then I think that allowed Portland to kind of shine a little bit, and some good performances from a few key players. But were they incredible? No, I don't think so.
No, I completely agree with you. It's how do I say it's we gotta move past this, and I think the players already are moved past it. I think they're already making a lot of they're gonna come out swinging, man. I mean, I have no doubt they're gonna come out swinging. They're gonna come out, playing their best soccer, and they're gonna dominate. It was good to see Evelina Dolgen, and I think you called it there, John, about her starting. So it was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, there was like I thought maybe one of these games. I don't know. I thought maybe later on, but she's. Do you feel like with Evelina, bro? She just she has a lot of skill. I just think her like soccer IQ and her positioning is just off. Like she picks up the ball and she doesn't run into space. She like runs right into the player, or she doesn't make the right pass, or I think she needs more time in the field. And that's what we're saying from Seb, trying to get her out there as much as possible so that when she is on the field, she's more of a threat.
Yep. And now obviously, I feel like, the best player of the Thorns was to me, would you say Sam Coffey maybe?
Yeah, I mean, the midfield overran. Like I think Angelina had a an unprecedentedly bad game for Angelina.
Yeah.
She was, missing passes, and we played, was it was Carrie in the middle of the two? I think she was. It was more of like a 4-4-2 with Carrie playing center mid alongside Angelina, with like Allie and Evelina on the wings, and Summer was like kind of a striker next to Julie, and then Summer dropped back into mid at some point. I just think against Portland we got overrun in that midfield because they played like true defensive midfielders in Coffee and Fleming, who actually won the ball back, and like we played attacking mids or center mids who just weren't like, we didn't have Morgan out there. We didn't have that sort of ball winning midfielder role, and we were just losing the ball a lot in the mid. Did you notice that, Luis?
No, I totally agree with you. And yeah, I mean, bad day at the office for Angelina, but we saw what kind of quality player she is. And I think we're going to see that again. I mean, let's read some comments real quick because I think we have a lot of comments from Jennifer. It says here, you better not cry, you better not watch. Orlando probably win no matter what. Thanks to Seb Hines and all the fans. Thank you, Victor.
Woo!
Jennifer, I'm absolutely exhausted with certain segments of our fan base. LMAO. It also fails to give Portland any credit. They're fighting for their lives to get Sink a decent end of her final season. It's not like they're Utah or Houston here. Toby Heath made a whole ass threads post about how glad she is that Orlando lost.
Oh, Tobin, come on, you're better
Yes,
than that.
but Tobin Heath, she's probably upset because her friend's no longer in the Pride. So, well, you remember that British center back we brought in?
No.
The play Man U?
No, I remember.
Forgot her name. That used to be Tobin's friend, the best friend.
Yeah.
So I had hope for a draw until the second goal, to be honest. This is sorry, I'm a yapper. No, that's okay. No, not a problem. I appreciate your comments, but I love I love the whole do you see us now? And I think this thing that the Pride did, and I'm gonna share real quick here. This is fantastic. I think this is very motivating for the players after this loss, because they need not to forget what they've accomplished. Like,
Well,
look
I
at that.
think this was the plan. This was like the playoff campaign.
Yeah,
Plan anyway, but I love it. It's
it's fantastic. Ballon d'Or Domini with Barbara Banda.
yeah.
Is that a 9? Yeah. Is it 7 or a 9? 7 Olympians, 5 medalists. I can't read. And then NWSL Shield winners. Most shutouts. The greatest to ever play. Marta. There you go. So, it's cool. One loss. Move on. I think that's the way the players need to look at it. I know it's tough, but streaks. I rather them lose the streak than and then win a shield in the NWSL championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's that thing where it's a case of they. Yes, I'm sure they were wanting to keep that streak alive, and I think that's also part of what I was saying about the reaction, because Julie and Allie and like these other players that got put in, and Evelina, that aren't always like Carrie Lawrence, that aren't always starting. They, more than anyone, were like, this is our chance to keep the streak going. Like, they want to step up and make sure that they can do their bit like they've been doing all year. So I think it's a shame to say like, oh, they couldn't do it, because they could have. It just wasn't the night and they didn't perform. But then also we brought on, made subs, and Marta and Banda, they had a few more chances the game. I think Emily Sams made a massive difference when she came on. And you see, okay, that's the team, and then we start to really control the game. And for me, it was like, oh, okay, well, this is what it would have been like for if we'd have played all of our pieces. Then yeah, we more likely would have come out of there with a win. But would we also have been highly more likely to get an injury to Marta or to Banda or whoever? Yes, I think so. And that at this point in the season it's not worth risking. You can put the NWSL Cup in the vault, Luis. You can't put there's no trophy for undefeated season. I mean, everyone wish they would have made us one if we'd have done it, but the NWSL Cup is what matters. So rotating here was the smart play. It was the thing that most coaches would have done, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I agree. I agree with you, and I also feel that a lot of our players, some of them had a pretty decent game. I feel Summer Yates was solid. I felt Summer Yates, she created some chances in the first half, and Ali Wad, again, the finishing, you know, she does everything right. It's just the finishing touch is just not there. Those are little things that are kind of hindering her to start sometimes. But I feel like again, it's an opportunity of I feel like both teams created multiple chances, even though Portland had maybe more possession, and the Pride had I think better passing accuracy and better crosses overall. So it is tough. It was a bad day in the office. The turf was just horrible.
Yeah, it was
I
horrible
mean, I mean,
field, man.
they should have played with with tennis shoes.
There's also like for me there was a penalty shout for
Yeah,
Julie early on,
that's
which the
true.
ref like clearly being pulled in the box. Ref didn't want to call that. Like there's numerous fouls that the ref,
Yeah, there was.
once again at end of a cell, these refs just be ignoring half the stuff.
Yeah, because
Um,
Portland,
they
Portland.
were very physical, and they wanted to get at us. I understand.
Yeah, and Portland is also a team that one time was the league's darling too. You know, so they
Yeah,
got some power and popularity with pundits and with NWSL pundits and with the league and things like that too. I mean, again, it's all about the markets. Sometimes for even in the MLS, we see it all the time, and people still feel that Orlando's a small market. Which I totally feel like that's not true. I feel like Orlando's shown what they can do, and I think now with the Pride and the changes that have come for the Pride, I think they're definitely going to be a soccer city for years to come. But honestly, there was a little bit of favoritism on Portland's end, in my opinion, too, like you said, and also a lot of like that's a strong giveaway in the 88th minute. That was
yeah.
the third
There's
goal for
Angelina
Portland.
giveaway.
Right,
I'm sure the players know. Like they
right,
like Seb, I'm sure like didn't even have to.
right.
Yeah, he wasn't angry. He was just like, "Hey, disappointing." I'm sure they were all disappointed. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't our night, and just we weren't performing in all areas of the field. There was sloppy giveaways. There was a couple balls where Anna was like, "Oh, am I gonna get that or not?" It it, it happens, and especially after you just won the Shield, and there's so much energy put into that milestone and hitting that peak and getting that achievement. It's so difficult to maintain that. They've maintained it all year, and something had to give, and this was the game, and we thought maybe it would be a potential banana skin, and it was, and that's fine. But I think now they're gonna, we'll talk in a minute about Gotham, but I can imagine we'll see a reaction from this.
Now, Pride needs to just shake it off, like Taylor Swift. Just shake it off, and just look. They're like, if they win the next two games, they could definitely. I mean, they can only really give up one goal. I believe one goal in the next two games. They can only give up one goal to break the league record for fewest goal conceded. So there's still one more accolade to literally achieve, and it is possible for them to do it. I feel like right now the Pride has demonstrated that there are a team that is a fully a contender. So no one is looking at, oh, here we're playing against the Pride. It's an ECW. No, it's not. It's they're the team to beat right now. Whether they would
Yeah.
have whether win or loss against Portland, they're the team to beat right now. So they cannot change the position in the standings anymore, obviously because they won the Shield. But I mean, there's still one more accolade, which is the fewest goals conceded in a season. So I'm sure they're going to go for that. Knowing them and
Yeah.
covering them this season fully, I think they're going to go for that.
Well, that also brings us nicely, Luis, on to talking about, like it's in that video that the Orlando Pride put out, all of the records from this a year on B. I mean, that's insane to me. I mean, I
Yeah.
was looking back at, it was October last year in 2023 when we lost before this game. And
Yeah, right here. This.
They said we
Yeah,
didn't
go ahead.
belong here. They said we didn't belong here. That we couldn't compete. When no one else believed, we believed.
Delivers this one to the back post. He comes in the middle. Vanda scores.
The longest unbeaten streak in league history. 7 Olympians, 5 medalists, 1 Ballon d'Or nominee. One of the greatest players the world has ever seen. Most shutouts, NWSL Shield winners, from overlooked to unstoppable. Do you see us now?
Amazing. Who would have thought, man, in less than a year we were sitting here talking about the Astra kit and have
I mean, here we are. It's,
hey man, I'm gonna get my Astra kit like
I think
50% off.
let's remember that this season is a massive success, regardless of whatever happens with the NWSL Cup. To me, the Shield is a huge success winning that, and I think that this team now could just keep going from here. I mean, in some ways, Luis, do you feel like it's kind of good to get a loss before the playoffs, because the pressure of being unbeaten just builds and builds and builds. So I'm not saying like I wanted to lose, but for me, it kind of felt like this better now than later. But having said that, an entire year undefeated is insane. So let's not, I think, yes, people were like, oh, they wanted to go the whole season. Of course, we all wanted to do that. It would have been amazing, but do not belittle the fact that they went almost an entire season. And I'll never stop talking, Luis, about the season where Orlando Pride almost went completely undefeated.
Yeah, and again, we need to. I think this campaign is phenomenal. I also believe that there's some players that are going to be doing some signings, some player appearances. I think Evelina and Sophia Manor, I believe they'll be at the Publix at Alafaya Square.
Yep, tomorrow go to your Publix.
Haley Strom and Haley McCutcheon is going to be at the Publix at Colonial Town Park.
Get yourself a pub sub and a signature.
There you go, pub sub and a signature and a picture.
Oh, I could definitely eat a pub sub right now.
Yeah,
that'd be
great. Yeah, for sure. Now, we're talking about, let's read some comments here. It says, what the heck? Am I dreaming? Are we doing double shifts tonight? Holy shit, you guys ain't playing.
We are doing double shift tonight. You caught it. Yeah.
Yeah, because tomorrow I got
back to back tonight.
Yeah, tomorrow I gotta cover Peru. And then on Thursday I got my daughter some tickets to see Taylor Swift. Yeah, so I'm
shake it off, just like the Orlando Pride.
I'm traveling to Miami.
You're gonna shake it off
all the way to my 7-year-old daughter's first concert.
That's awesome.
There you go. So my 2021 era Pride TikToks are hilarious in hindsight, says Jennifer.
I bet.
No, I mean, it's. I mean, I
What a
think
turnaround.
this team has come a long way. I mean, and I think there's gonna be more to come. I mean, this is just the beginning, and if the beginning is this sweet, just imagine what's more to come. So I totally encourage everyone to just totally like get your season tickets, man, to see the Pride.
Well, also your season tickets next year include a jersey, so it's like, like I don't know if you've looked at how much a Nike Pride
Yeah,
jersey is, but they're like 100 and
it's
whatever dollars.
It's $100 some dollars.
The season ticket in the wall is like $130, so you're literally getting a free jersey with a season ticket, or a free ticket with a season ticket with a jersey, however you want to look at it. But that's an insane deal, and especially the way they performed this year. Great for families if you want to take them. It's just a lot cheaper than the Orlando City, but it's still very entertaining, as we've said many times. So
Yeah, look, you want to see the prices? Look, I have the prices right
yeah,
here.
it's a great value for money.
Look,
Oh,
130
the
bucks.
jerseys are not value for money. No, no, no. Yeah, Nike. They set the prices league wide. Nothing we can do about that. I do like that training top. I need to get the away jersey. I still don't have the
I
away
like the
jersey.
training top too, but I want to get the
Yeah,
Morehouse kit right
I think
there,
I might
man.
get the away jersey, but
The little pulpa going on.
yeah, we'll see.
I like Nike.
But of course, an entire year undefeated was incredible to witness. Now, of course, we'll talk about Gotham in a second, but your last chance to see Orlando Pride before the playoffs will come after Gotham. We'll be playing the Rain in our last home game of the season. This weekend, of course, Sunday. Is it Sunday? The 20th? Yeah. Sunday night. 5 o'clock, Luis, another early Sunday kickoff. We will be playing Gotham, who haven't lost. Last time they lost was against us. So I would say, hotter than the Washington Spirit right now, hotter than KC, Gotham. They're a team of USA stars, the USA women's national team, club team, essentially. I mean, it's absolutely
You
stacked.
want to share what you have?
Yeah, I'll pull up their lineup from last game. Give me 1 second here. But of course, we know their threats. We know most of their team because they're quite famous. Here they beat the Chicago Red Stars 2-0 away from home. And of course, you could see the lineup here. I'm getting my teams mixed up now, Luis. Hold
It's
on.
on the bottom right there.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
getting my teams mixed up. I was right the first time. Here we are. Gonzalez, Roosevelt, Lynn Williams, Jasmine Ryan. Sorry, I always want to say Jasmine. It's Yasmin Ryan. Of course, Emily Sonnet and Tierney Davidson, two of the best center backs in the league. Jenna Neiswager at left back. Jess Carter is having a great season at right back. And Kattenberger, of course, always quality goalkeeping. It's stacked throughout. And they were missing a few players. They subbed in the likes of Ella Stevens, of course, being the most notable name.
Kaiser.
Yeah, they've got so many threats, and
Yeah.
they're in a very good position, like where we were when we were on that run of just not losing. They're in a very similar situation to that. They're
But Tierna
they're
left
very good.
due to
What else do we
injury.
say about Gotham? She did pick up an injury. Had to get substituted out. Whether she's out for another game, I don't know. We'll have to. Of course, we'll get the availability report closer to the time, Luis. But right now, not sure on that one. But they've got most of there's not much they're missing there from their stars.
I have full faith in Corey Dyke.
of course, we are missing. Well, Celia was out last game with an excused absence. I don't know if that's going to be recurring. Rafaeli is still out with thigh injury. Of course, our season-ending injuries like SEI. I can't say that, Luis. Haley McCutcheon last game was only questionable with a foot injury, so
She should be back,
potentially
hopefully.
Haley to return for this one. One would hope Haley McCutcheon is ready to go again. But like I said, we won't know for sure until later in the week when that availability report comes out. But Luis, you got to think we're gonna go full force for this one, right?
Yeah, I think none of the players are gonna want to lose this one, and I believe that it's a great opportunity to, revindicate themselves and turn the page fully and go back to their, back to the momentum they had before the game against Portland, and I think that's gonna secure them mentally. I think it's gonna be great. Now, Corey Dyke has faced Chawinga, has faced what's the Zambian, forgot her name, the other Zambian player from Bay. Kunda
Kunaji.
Gandhi, yeah. She's faced all these threats and she's come on top. Ling Williams, you're next, man. I feel like,
She'll probably be back at right back again, I
you
imagine,
know,
instead of center back.
mhm.
Because I mean, she defined it center back, but she's our best right back
She's
option.
our best right back option right now.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think you want to do the lineup.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll do the
Um,
lineup right now. Give me
the
one
lineup
second.
versus Gotham. Here, as you can see on screen, is their recent. They are for me even though they're in third, they're on 50 points. I think they're going to finish in second above Washington. And then I think it's highly likely that as we go through the playoffs, we're looking at this being the NWSL Cup. Like unless Kansas City or Washington, also are major options. But right now, I think the two best teams in the league are these two teams, Orlando Pride and Gotham. So this could potentially, Luis, be a preview of a later semifinal or final of the NWSL Cup potentially.
Wow.
Don't you
Well,
think? I can see that. I mean, 1 versus 2 in the playoffs, if they finish second, will be put on the other sides of the brackets intentionally. That's how they do it. So it's highly likely that they will take over Washington with their last few games. It could happen. Of course, they got to play us, but Washington, I have to check who they're playing. But they're tied on 50 points right now. So either way, I still consider them one of the teams that will go far in the playoffs. They did it last year. They've done it before. They're full of stars, and when all their stars are fit and Rose Lavelle is out there, it's a very, very dangerous squad and a very difficult team to beat.
oh, for sure. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the NWSL, just like the Orlando Pride. And another thing is we have film. We've defeated them before, defeating them before, and I think we need to come out with the same intensity. And not only that, but I feel like, again, these are no soccer player, and I think I've said this before, ever goes to a game and says, hey, today I feel like losing. I think
Well, think
they'll
about
want to they'll want to compete. So
Gotham also though have to play. I forgot that they have other games, so they're playing this week. So this is good for us. And I'll quickly share this, Luis, before we do the lineup because this is significant. Gotham are playing on the 16th against Tigres. So they are playing earlier in the week. They're playing on Wednesday night.
is that the final for the Summer Cup?
It's the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Oh,
I don't know which stage it is of that. I have to check. Let's see. Oh, it's still okay. I forgot. It's a table now. So it's just in a group game, fixture game for them. They play here. And then, of course, we play them on Sunday. And then they got to play Kansas City in the Summer Cup final, which I don't know if you realize, Luis, but we're deep into fall. Summer is over. Yeah, we talked about this at the time. Like, that's going to be weird when the Summer Cup final occurs. But yes, so they've got 4 games left. And then, of course, they got to play the last game of the season away at Utah Royals, who are on a resurgence and trying to get in the playoffs themselves. So it's not so easy for them. I think that's good for us. The fact that they're playing on Wednesday night in a tough game against Tigres. Are they going to rotate? Are they not? Who knows? If it was me, I would be putting my second team against Tigres, Luis, and saving everybody for us on the weekend.
110%. I think that's what they're gonna do.
But just the having to deal with that, and mentally playing a game midweek, other competitions, we don't have to deal with any of that.
Correct. I agree. I think that's something that it makes the team just focus on the NWSL Cup. So
big advantage.
I don't know. What do you think about this lineup?
Your lineup. So you got Anna Morehouse, we got Corey Dyke, Emily Sams, Kylie Strom, Carrie Abello, Haley McCutcheon, Angelina, Marta in the 10, Adriana right wing, left wing, Summer Yates, and Banda. I think that is I think you nailed it. Yeah.
Actually, Angelina, I think it's on the left, and Haley's on the right.
Well, yeah, either way. But I think those two getting it. Maybe Morgan. I could potentially see Morgan and Haley if we really want to go double pivot and be like extra defensive, which could be based on Gotham and all their strengths, it could be an option for us. But Angelina, I think, hopefully we'll have a bounce back game, because when she's playing well and the passes are connecting, that's a big part of what makes this offense tick. So hopefully she gets back in and performs well again.
So would you rather do Morgan or would you rather do Angelina?
I was just spitballing on ideas.
I'll do Angelina.
I think Angelina and one of them, but it could be Morgan or Haley. Haley might not be ready to go. Regardless, I would like to see an actual defensive mid in there for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Summer, maybe Julie there, or that could happen. Maybe Evelina again. I could see it. It could happen. I don't know. We'll have to see it. But I think Adriana, Marta, Banda, they're pretty nailed on to get a start after not starting the last game.
Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is going to be the lineup. I think it has. I think Angelina also wants a spot to have a better game, and I think this will be against a really tough competition that we're probably going to see again in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for her to have a better game, and why not? She's come such a long way, Angelina. I think like you say, one of the pods. The Rain are probably killing themselves that they lost Angelina.
I would be.
Yeah, But yeah, this will be our lineup against.
We've seen a bounce back, Louis. Shake it off like Taylor Swift, and
That's right.
Just forget about it. Right? Be like a goldfish. Ted Lasso that thing.
There you go.
We Portland who? Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't care about that.
You
get your win. That's fine. No biggie. Don't matter.
It's bragging rights, but I mean,
don't matter. We're still first. We're still
we have
the hottest team in the league.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be very careful what we say sometimes, because truly don't want to undermine Portland, and say they were, we're better than Portland. No, clearly we weren't better than Portland. Yeah. But you also don't want to also undermine the team. And you don't want to tell Orlando Pride that they weren't good enough, and then why do you lose one game?
I think also is the amount of celebration and overreaction from. I'm not complaining about them celebrating. Don't get me twisted. I don't care about that. I'm just saying that they were, everybody wants to take us down, and they were the team to do it. And of course, whoever was going to be that team was gonna, walk around like they would miss a big shot, and nwsl was gonna throw them, and it happened to be Portland, that we know is a darling of the league. And of course, they make a big deal out of it. I get it. We got a big old target, but now that's over, right? We're not undefeated anymore. Let's get back to business. Let's get back to what we know how to do. And
And
let's go out there and play really good soccer, really entertaining soccer. And I think that's what we'll see again against Gotham with renewed determination.
yeah, and there's a lot of media also, like the attacking third and a couple of things. They're like, "Oh, Portland's a great team. Oh, Portland. Oh my God, Portland. Oh my God. Oh my God, Portland. Oh my God. Oh my God." So and it's okay. It's okay, but keep talking about other teams and not Orlando Pride. They've done that since the beginning of the season. It doesn't really matter anymore. You know what I mean? Like Orlando are gonna still put a great performance. They're still gonna win games, and they're closer to winning, hopefully, an NWSL championship.
I
So
think the league secretly was annoyed by the fact that we ran away with it. I think the league obviously wants,
yeah,
drama. They want that
they won. They won
they're-
San Diego, Angel City.
for the last the month or so of the season, where it basically looked like, okay, we're gonna win it and we keep winning. All of the rest of the conversations by all the podcasts and all the writers, everyone's just talking about the playoffs and oh,
Yeah.
who's gonna get in, because the top of the race was done. Everybody knew it was done, and it wasn't that exciting to talk about. What was exciting is, okay, we lost the game now. Well, okay, they
Yeah,
finally lost. Let's talk about them now, in that
yeah.
way. Of course, they covered the Shield, but they have to cover the Shield. I mean, it's awesome. They did do a lot. I don't want to say NWSL completely ignored us, because they did not. It was just funny that it was like a week later we take the L, and then it's like, oh, back to normal, right? Back to talking about one of our darlings, how we like it.
Yep, I completely agree
But
with
we
you.
will not be ignored, Luis, as the Orlando Pride quite clearly states. Do you see us now?
There you go.
And you're definitely gonna see us in playoffs. That's for sure.
That's right, definitely, and it's gonna be great. Anything else you want to add before we go, John?
No, just excited for the last couple games. We're getting close to the end of the year, Luis. It's been incredible. I'm glad everybody's safe from the hurricane,
Yeah,
and
that's
glad everybody got back from from
so there's
Portland, and they made their trip out there and back with no issues. And
yeah, so there's still parts in Tampa here that have no power. I do want to say there's gasoline shortages. Thank God I was able to find. I was literally going to get some dinner, and I was driving to get some pizzas for my young daughter, and all of a sudden I see a 7-Eleven, and I saw 4 cars there, and so I'm like, I get there. I looked at it doesn't have the little bag on top, so I'm like, great. Boom, I gotta grab, I start pouring gas, boom, I pay all of that, put my points, boom, boom, boom. And then I see 5 cars behind me, like waiting. And then I keep filling up my car, fill up my car, and then this lady comes out. Guys, pump is closed. Pump is closed. You should have seen the people, how they cuss me out, man. You selfish son of a... You selfish. You got all the...
it's the Wild West right now,
and
man.
then I'm like, I just like it was... I didn't have no canisters. I didn't have nothing, so I just went in my car and just quietly left. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Like where I live, like they just changed the tower. It used to be like this wooden one, and now it's a big steel one. And we got some power in and out, but I mean, some people really had it really bad, man. I feel terrible. I mean, it was
The worst thing in Maitland we had was there's just one of the big corner between
Yeah.
up here, like the whole corner. So there was like a bunch of different major stores on that corner that were out, like the Aldi and the little, and like for like a good while too. And I keep seeing on social people posting, being like, "What happened to the Target?" And like the Target doesn't have power. But that's the only thing that happened to us. There's a few other like parts of where I live here were taken down, power down and stuff. But
Oh,
we got lucky, man. It kind of turned a little bit further
yeah.
south, and
Hopefully everyone's
yeah,
okay that's watching.
yeah. But
And
it's you got to play it safe, and glad everybody came out of that okay. And
have
hopefully that
provision.
was the last one, knock on wood, for the year, because it's
Hopefully, man.
late in the season,
Don't
and
jinx it, man.
I'm over hurricanes. But let's move on.
There you
So
go.
yeah, but thank you to everybody that's listening. If you have not done so, please go ahead, go over to our YouTube channel, go to Loud and Proud Orlando on YouTube, and subscribe there. You can also click the bell icon, and you will get notifications. So whenever we drop a video or go live, it'll pop up for you. You can also please like the video. If you are on X or Twitter, go over there and like the video as well. You can repost it so other people can see it. That always helps us. Or if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, drop us a rating, 5 stars. That helps so more people can see it, get stuff up in the algorithm, all of this stuff. If you want to interact with us, we're on social media. We haven't said this in a while, Luis, but I'm at John Rollins OCSC on X, and you're also, Luis runs the Loud and Proud Orlando Twitter account, but he
Yeah.
also has his own personal Twitter account, which is
It's at Pineda_ORL. And then you guys could just find me there or at LP_podcast right there for Loud and Proud Orlando.
And also for Loud and Proud on social, you can get, Facebook. We've got Instagram, Twitter, all of that, all the updates going out. So if you need news, follow us there. Yeah, everything is awesome. And we're coming to the end of the season, Luis.
That's right. We're coming to
And
the end of the
our
season.
Orlando Pride, man, this is where it gets really exciting now.
Yeah.
We've got the shield. That's one trophy. Let's see how we
Hopefully,
match up against Gotham.
oh, I don't know.
You play us out.
It
You're
played by
done.
itself. That was weird.
Luis is done.
No, but what I was going to tell you guys
Thank
is,
you, Harry.
no. I said what I was going to tell you guys is like, after the end of the season, we'll probably come up with, with some obviously season review, obviously, but then after that, we'll probably, once the NWSL starts picking up, hey, Golden Nuggets, guys, you guys want to, there's some, maybe new players coming. I don't know. Hopefully, all right. So we'll talk about all of that in the future.
For sure. And we'll hopefully get some interviews potentially in the
That's
future as
right.
well.
Interviews.
We've
We
done
gotta get some
Sad, we've done
interviews.
Haley, but there's a few players we got in mind
Yeah.
that we'd like to interview in the future.
Corey
So
Dyke. It would be cool.
I'm thinking bigger than Corey Dyke.
Barbara
But,
Banda.
maybe a
Damn,
certain
all the time we do a lot.
maybe a certain number 10 that we could try and get
Oh,
on
Martha.
the pod. That would be fun.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
We'll see who we can get to come talk to us at the end of the season about this amazing year, and the perspective from some players would be great.
That's right. All right, guys. If anything, stay safe. Thank you for your support. And Vamos Pride. Take care.
Vamos,
guys.
Pride.
Vamos Pride. Have a good one.